So a couple weeks ago, we were talking about David's eulogy for Jonathan. David eulogized Jonathan when he fell in battle with his father, King Saul. And in 2 Samuel chapter 1 and verse 26, David says about Jonathan, your love to me was more wondrous than the love of women.
Right.
It's a famous verse, right? He says, your love to me was more wondrous than the love of women. And some cynical people, or some people bent on their own agenda, take that verse and they take it someplace else altogether. Right. And that's enough about that. Some people take that verse and they interpret it in a different way altogether, because David said about Jonathan, eulogizing him, your love to me was more wonderful than the love of women. But what is the deep secret about that verse? Because again, the Torah is so deep, it's endless, and one has to have an understanding of the divine authorship and what is going on here, what the lessons are. And so it's the truth is, when you understand it, then you really appreciate what he was saying, because what was he talking about? When David said, your love to me, it was more wonderful than the love of women, which women? Which women did he mean?
Yeah.
He meant Rachel and Leah.
Yeah.
And now you understand that his parable is perfect, because what was the whole deal with Rachel and Leah? Rachel loved her sister so much that she wasn't jealous, and she didn't feel any competition, and she was willing to just put herself second and let her be the one, right? That's exactly what Jonathan's relationship was with David, because Jonathan should have been king. In other words, he was second in line. If it was the line of Saul that Hashem wanted to be king, of course Hashem changed it. Hashem said to Saul that you lost it, and now it's going to go to someone else. But as the crow flies, in other words, if it would be lineal, then Jonathan would be next up. But Jonathan, what did he say to David? He said, I want you to be king, and I want to be your second. Yeah. He said, the most that I will be is your second, but no, I am completely committed to your being king. And David said about Jonathan, your love to me was more wonderful than the love of women, meaning that you were not jealous of me. Just like Rachel and Leah, just like Rachel felt about Leah. So it's just such a beautiful idea.